Did you know that subtle cues in our environment can significantly influence our behavior? It's called priming. This fascinating psychological phenomenon is a testament to the power of our subconscious mind, demonstrating how our thoughts and actions can be molded by the seemingly innocuous stimuli around us. Let's delve a little deeper. Priming is a process where exposure to one stimulus influences a response to a subsequent stimulus, without any conscious guidance or intention. Simply put, it's a way our brain connects dots, linking stimuli to related ideas and emotions. Consider this. You walk into a room and you're instantly greeted by the comforting aroma of freshly baked cookies. As you breathe in that sweet, familiar scent, you might find yourself feeling a little more relaxed, a little more at home. You might even feel a bit friendlier, more open to conversation. That, dear listeners, is priming in action. These stimuli aren't limited to smells, though. They can be words, images, sounds, or even tactile sensations. For instance, reading a list of words related to old age might make you walk a bit slower. Seeing an image of a library might make you lower your voice without even realizing it. These are all examples of priming, tiny nudges from our environment that subtly steer our behavior. But of course, the effects of priming aren't always as simple or as benign as feeling friendlier in the presence of cookies. In fact, researchers have found that priming can influence our judgments and decisions, sometimes leading us to act in ways that we may not consciously endorse. It's a powerful reminder of how our environment can shape us, often in ways we don't even notice. So, the next time you find yourself acting a certain way or feeling a certain emotion, take a moment to look around. There might just be a prime lurking somewhere in your environment, quietly pulling the strings behind the scenes. That's the power of priming at work. Ever judge someone based on their appearance or a single characteristic? You've experienced the halo effect. This phenomenon, nestled deep within the human psyche, is a cognitive bias that influences how we perceive and judge others. The halo effect is like a spotlight in the theater of our mind, illuminating certain traits while casting others into shadow. It's as if we're wearing rose-tinted glasses, causing us to perceive an individual with one positive trait as having many. For instance, if someone is physically attractive, we might also view them as more intelligent, kind, or competent, even without evidence to support these assumptions. But why does this happen? The answer lies in the shortcuts our brains take to process information. Our minds are constantly bombarded with stimuli, and to manage this influx, they often rely on cognitive shortcuts or heuristics. The halo effect is one such heuristic, helping us to quickly form impressions and make judgments. However, the halo effect isn't just limited to individual interactions. It casts its glow far and wide, influencing our perceptions in various aspects of life. Let's take celebrities, for example. Their fame and charisma often lead us to perceive them as having other positive qualities. We might think they're more trustworthy or talented simply because they're in the limelight. Similarly, in politics, a candidate's charisma or eloquence can create a halo effect, leading voters to perceive them as more competent or honest. This can profoundly influence election outcomes, sometimes swaying the vote in favor of a candidate who may not necessarily be the most qualified. But the halo effect isn't all sunshine and rainbows. While it can help us make quick judgments, it can also lead to biased and inaccurate perceptions. It can cause us to overlook flaws, make unwarranted assumptions, and even foster prejudice. So, the next time you find yourself making snap judgments, remember the halo effect. Understanding it can help us challenge our biases and strive for more objective judgments. From celebrities to politicians, the halo effect can influence our perceptions in various aspects of life, often leading to biased judgments. Have you ever learned about something new, only to suddenly see it everywhere? That's the Baader-Meinhof Phenomenon, a perplexing puzzle of our mind. This phenomenon is also known as frequency illusion. It's a quirk of our brain that makes recently learned information appear more prevalent in our surroundings. Let's delve into the mechanics of this phenomenon. The Baader-Meinhof phenomenon operates in two steps. First, there's the initial moment of noticing when you come across something new. It could be a word you've never heard before, a song that's new to your ears, or a concept that's freshly introduced to your mind. This kicks off your brain's alert system, making it more attuned to that specific piece of information. The second step is confirmation bias. Our brains love patterns, and when we start noticing something, we subconsciously seek out more instances of it. This confirmation bias makes it seem as if that new word, song, or concept is suddenly everywhere, when in reality, it's just our heightened awareness making it seem so. For instance, let's say you've just discovered a new band and you're absolutely smitten with their unique sound. Suddenly, it seems like their songs are playing everywhere. In the coffee shop, on the radio, in the background of a TV show. It feels like the universe is suddenly in sync with your new musical obsession. But what's really happening is your brain is just more attuned to recognizing their sound. Or maybe you've just learned a new word, and suddenly it feels like everyone around you is using it in their conversations. It's not that the word has become more popular overnight, but rather, your brain is now primed to notice it. The Baader-Meinhof Phenomenon is a fascinating example of how our perception of reality can be shaped by our awareness and attention. It's a testament to the power of our brains and the intriguing ways they process information. Whether it's a word, a song, or a concept, once our attention is drawn to it, we start noticing it everywhere we look. In times of crisis, why do people sometimes hesitate to help? It's due to the bystander effect. The bystander effect is a fascinating psychological phenomenon that seems to go against our instinctual drive to help others in need. It's a social dynamic that comes into play when we're surrounded by others, especially during emergency situations. So what exactly is the bystander effect? Well, it's the observation that individuals are less likely to intervene or offer assistance in an emergency when there are others present. This might sound counterintuitive. After all, shouldn't more people mean more help? Surprisingly, that's not always the case. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you're walking down a busy street and you see someone collapse. There are many people around. You might instinctively look around to see if anyone else is going to help. This is the first step into the bystander effect. Why does this happen? One reason is the diffusion of responsibility. This is the notion that the more people present, the less personal responsibility each individual feels. With so many potential helpers around, you might think surely someone else will step in. This diffusion of responsibility can lead to a state of inaction, where everyone assumes someone else will take the charge. This can be especially true in ambiguous situations, where it's not immediately clear if someone is in trouble or if help is needed. But it's not all doom and gloom. Understanding the bystander effect can empower us to overcome it. By being aware of this psychological trap, we can consciously choose to take action rather than waiting for others to make the first move. In essence, the bystander effect is a stark reminder of our social nature and how it can sometimes lead us astray. But by acknowledging it, we can strive to become more proactive, compassionate, and responsive members of our communities. The more bystanders there are, the less likely each individual is to take action, often leading to what psychologists call diffusion of responsibility. Picture this. You hold a belief, but your actions contradict it. This uncomfortable feeling is known as cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological theory proposed by Leon Festinger in the mid-20th century. It refers to the mental discomfort we feel when our beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors don't line up. Imagine, for instance, that you're an environmental enthusiast, yet you find yourself taking a long, water-wasting shower after a particularly grueling workout. The discomfort you feel afterward? That's cognitive dissonance. Festinger believed that we are driven by an inner need to hold all our attitudes and beliefs in harmony and avoid disharmony or dissonance. This need leads to what is known as the principle of cognitive consistency. When there is an inconsistency between attitudes or behaviors, something must change to eliminate the dissonance. In the face of this dissonance, we have a few options. We can change our behavior to align with our beliefs, so taking a shorter shower next time. Alternatively, we could adjust our beliefs to fit our actions, convincing ourselves that one long shower doesn't really have that much of an impact on the environment. Or we might seek out new information that supports our behavior, like research suggesting that long showers can have health benefits. Cognitive dissonance isn't just an interesting psychological concept. It's a force that influences our decisions and behaviors every day. It's the guilt you feel when you skip the gym, the justification when you splurge on something you shouldn't, or the discomfort when you act against your values. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Cognitive dissonance can serve as a catalyst for change, motivating us to align our actions with our values and become more consistent in our beliefs and behaviors. So, next time you experience that uncomfortable feeling of cognitive dissonance, consider it an opportunity for self-improvement. Our brains strive for consistency. So when there's a mismatch between our beliefs and behaviors, we experience psychological discomfort. And there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the intriguing world of psychology, uncovering the power of priming, the halo effect, the Baader-Meinhof Phenomenon, the bystander effect, and cognitive dissonance. Each of these psychological phenomena shapes our perceptions and behaviors in subtle yet profound ways. So remember, the mind is a labyrinth, full of fascinating mysteries waiting to be discovered. Our understanding of it is ever evolving, and there's always more to learn. Until next time, keep exploring.